welcome to physics lesson, linear motion. And before we continue, I would request you to have your book and a pen. Otherwise, there is no learning that will take place without you having a book and a pen. So, when it comes to linear motion, it is describing a body that is moving in a straight line. When a body, a particle, or an object moves in a straight line, we say it is having a linear motion. This is the first topic from grade 6. In Form 4, we shall learn about circular motion, whereby if a body moves in a circular way, we say it is moving in a circular motion. That's another topic in Form 4, uniform circular motion. But for our case here, we are learning about linear motion. We are going to consider bodies that moves in a straight line. When a body moves in a straight line, we say that is a linear motion. When a vehicle moves in a straight line, it is linear motion. When you run in a straight line, it is linear motion. When a particle moves in a straight line, either vertically or horizontally, as long as it is in a straight line, we will talk about having, or it falls under linear motion. Now, first of all, before we move on, before we discuss anything else concerning this topic, I would like us to define the following terms. There are 5 terms which you are supposed to know as far as this topic is concerned. The first one, we have distance. Number 2, we have displacement. Number 3, we have speed. Number 4, we have what we call velocity. Then number 5, we have acceleration. So these 5 terms that I've just written on the board are very important as far as the topic is concerned. You are supposed to know what each term stands for in this topic. Because when a body moves, it must have covered a given distance, a given displacement with relative to the starting point. It must be moving with a given speed, velocity, or the body might be accelerating. So when we talk about distance, distance is the actual length moved by a body. It is the actual length moved by a body. And its SI unit is meters. Its SI unit is meters. When a body moves a given length, we talk about a given distance. Now, displacement, though they have the same units, that is the SI unit are meters, but it means a different thing to talk about displacement. For example, let me use this triangle. This is part A, this is part B, that is C. I can use this triangle to give you a difference between distance and displacement. When a particle starts from point A to B to C and then back to A, the 3 points can give us actually what we talk about distance and displacement. When it moves from A to B, for example, I can put here to be 3 meters, this part to be 4 meters, and of course, using the Pythagoras theorem, you will know that this part is going to be 5 meters. So now, if a particle moves from A to B, the distance covered is 3 meters. The displacement is still 3 meters. But when a particle moves from A to B to C, the distance covered is 3 plus 5 meters. It is the actual length, 3 plus 5. But now, when a body moves from A to B to C, the displacement is 4 meters from the starting point. Another thing that I would like to tell you concerning displacement and distance is a scalar quantity. It only has the magnitude, that is the size. But displacement is a vector quantity. It has both direction and the size, that is the magnitude. But I have said the SI unit for this is still meters. That is the SI unit. And now, sometimes the distance can be the same as the displacement. For example, if a body moves from A to B, both of them will be having a distance of 3 and displacement is 3. But when it moves from A to B to C, the distance moved is 3 plus 8. The displacement is 4 meters. Now, you consider this. If a body moves from A to B to C, then back to the starting point, now the distance becomes 3 plus 5 plus 4. But the displacement is 0. Why? Because the body is back to the starting point. So it is not displaced anywhere, it is 0. Here it has covered a certain distance. Meaning what? When you wake up in the morning from your bed, you walk during the day, you do all the day's activities, but once you come back at night to sleep, you may have covered a lot of distance, but the displacement is 0, meaning you are in the same starting point. Now, let me move to speed. Speed is derived from distance. How? Speed is the distance covered by unit time. Distance covered by unit time, and its SI unit is meters per second. The SI unit is meters per second, and it is also a scalar quantity. While velocity is the displacement covered by unit time, and the same SI unit is meters per second. So you see now, we obtain velocity from displacement. That is why we are saying it is a vector quantity. We obtain speed from distance. That's why we are saying it's a scalar quantity. I can still use another approach so that you can get the concept of distance and displacement. Look at this straight line from A to B. The distance may be 10 meters, for example, from A to B is 10 meters, but our body can decide to move this way. If a body moves directly from A to B, the distance covered, if A to B is 10 meters, if it moves directly, then the distance covered is 10 meters. But if the body follows the longer route, then the distance covered will be more than 10. But in all cases, the displacement will be 10 meters. So it is the, distance is the actual length, but displacement is how far have you been displaced from the starting point. Let me move to acceleration. Acceleration, first of all, it is a vector quantity that is obtained from velocity. And it is defined as the rate of change of velocity. The rate of change of velocity, or velocity, change in velocity by unit time. You get acceleration. It is always denoted by letter A. Acceleration can be positive or negative, depending whether the body is moving with an increased velocity or a decrease in velocity. Now, let me take you back a little bit. Velocity is denoted by letter V. Then speed has no specific letter to denote, but we always use S. S is not the actual letter to denote speed. Displacement, we use S. S stands for displacement as far as linear motion is concerned. Distance doesn't have a specific letter to denote, but we always work with the D. No problem with that. Now, dealing with acceleration, because we have said now, it is the rate of change of velocity. Meaning, for us to get acceleration, we are supposed to have the final velocity, the initial velocity, then the time that has taken this body to change from the initial to the final velocity. I want to say this. Initial velocity we are going to name initial velocity as u. Final velocity to be v. Then the time will just be t. Now, if I say velocity is the rate of change, acceleration is the rate of change of velocity, then I'm supposed to say acceleration is given by the final, which is v, minus initial, which is u, over t. That is how we are supposed actually to calculate acceleration v minus u over t. That is how you are supposed to get it. Before we look at 2-3 examples on calculation of this part, I would like to say this again. That if a body moves with a decrease in velocity, then the acceleration is going to be negative, or it's going to take a negative value. But if it moves with an increasing velocity all through, then it is going to have a positive value. There is another term that can be used to show or to name acceleration that moves with a decreased velocity. The term deceleration or the term retardation. The two of them are used to mean a velocity that decreases with, an acceleration that decreases with velocity as time moves. So if it is a negative value, we can decide to drop the negative, then we name it deceleration. Or we retain the negative, then we call it acceleration. So it's very important. You cannot use a deceleration and a negative at the same time. You choose one. If you use acceleration and the body actually was decelerated, then you assign a negative value. So I want to take us through a few questions here, and I'm not going to write on the board, but you are the one to write it, then we will do it together. I will read it for you as you are writing the question. So a body covers a distance of 10 meters in 4 seconds. A body covers a distance of 10 meters in 4 seconds. It rests for 10 seconds and finally covers a distance of 90 meters in 6 seconds. Calculate its average speed. Calculate its average speed. So now, because it's talking of the average speed, we are supposed to get the average distance, I mean the total distance, then the total time. Now, in that question, let's look at the total distance. Look at your question once again. A body covers a distance of 10 meters in 4 seconds. It rests for 10 seconds and finally covers a distance of 90 meters in 6 seconds. Calculate its average speed. So the total distance is 10 meters plus 90. 10 plus 90. 90, sorry. That is the total distance. Now, what about total time? We have 4 seconds, we have 10 seconds, and then we have 6 seconds. When you add all of them, it will give you 20 seconds. Now, speed is given, our average speed is given by total distance, which is 100 meters over 20 seconds. That one will take us to what we call, 5 meters per second. That is the average speed. That is the average speed. Another question. Calculate the distance in meters covered by a body moving with a uniform speed of 180 kilometers in 30 seconds. Calculate the distance in meters covered by a body moving with a uniform speed of 180 kilometers per hour in 30 seconds. First of all, here the units are not rhyming because the speed is in kilometers per hour and then the time given. The speed is in kilometers per hour and the time given is in seconds. What can we do? We either convert the time in seconds into hours, which looks a little bit difficult, or we convert from kilometers per hour to meters per second. And let me take it back a little bit. If you want to convert from kilometers per hour to meters per second, multiplied by, you have to multiply by 5 over 18. Any value in kilometers per hour that you want to convert to meters per second, you simply multiply by 5 over 18. You multiply by 5 over 18. But if you want the vice versa, if you want to move from meters per second to kilometers per hour, then what you are supposed actually to do is to multiply by 18 over 5. You multiply by 18 of 5. So in our case here, the speed is 180 kilometers per hour. We need to convert it to meters per second. What can we do? So we simply have to multiply it by 5 over 18. We multiply it by 5 over 18. So we are going to take this 180 kilometers per hour times 5 over 18. The value we will get here is going to be in terms of meters per second, whereby by T1, by T give us 10. So it's going to be 50 meters per second. That is it. But now the question is talking about, we calculate the distance. If speed is given by distance over time, then distance is going to be speed times time, whereby it's going to be 50 times time, which is 30 seconds. So you get 1500 meters. That is how that question should be handled. Our second last question for the lesson. A body moves 300 meters due east. A body moves 300 meters due east in 40 seconds. Then a body moves 3000 meters due east in 40 seconds. Then 4000 meters in 60 seconds. Then 400 meters in 60 seconds due north. Then 4,000 meters in 60 seconds due north. Calculate the average speed and the average velocity. Now, this body, as you can look at it, this body, we are told it moves due east in how many meters? In 3000 meters. From here, it moves 3000 meters. Then, after moving 3000 meters due east, it moved 4000 meters due north. It moved 4000 meters due north. So up by the point, 4000 meters. Now, moving 3000 meters, it used 40 seconds. Then moving 4000 meters, it used 60 seconds. So the question here is calculate the average speed. Average speed comes from the total distance, which is 4000 plus 3000, divided by now the total time, which is 60 plus 40. So average speed is going to be 7000 divided by 100. 7000 divided by 100, you will get 70 meters per second. Average velocity, we are supposed to calculate the displacement. Now, we have to come up with hypotenuse. If here is 3000, 4000, then using the Pythagoras theorem, here is going to be 5000 meters. Then what can we do? The displacement is 5000 meters. Now, 5000 meters, and if you want to get the velocity, it is displacement over time. The time is 100. So 5000 divided by 100, you get your velocity, which is going to be 50 meters per second. Then the last question for today is this one. You write it, then we do it together. A body moves 30 meters due east in 2 seconds. I will have to do it so that we can read together. It says a body moves 30 meters due east in 2 seconds. Then 40 meters due north in 4 seconds. Then 40 meters due north in 4 seconds. Then you are supposed to find the total distance, the average speed, the displacement, and the velocity. It is similar to the question we have just done. So, but this one now, it is in terms of 30 meters and 40 meters. So it moved for 30 meters here, due east, then 40 meters due north. Here is 40 meters. So, of course, we are supposed to find for the displacement, which is going to be 50 meters. Now, the first question is the total distance moved by the body. Because it moved 30 meters due east, then 40 meters due north, the total distance is going to be 30 plus 40, which is 70. The average speed is going to be total distance, which is 30 plus 40, which is now 70, divided by the total time. From the question you have just written, time is going to be 2 seconds plus 4, gives us 6. Then you take now 70 divided by 6, you get the average speed. Now, the displacement, how far has the body been displaced from the starting point? So, the body has moved here 30 meters, 40, but the body is 50 meters meters from the starting point. That is now the distance in a specific direction is the displacement, which is 50 meters. The velocity is going to be 50 divided by the time, which is 6. That is how you are supposed to approach that question. Thank you. We meet in the next lesson.